Have you ever seen like children's headshots?
Oh yeah.
They're like 4 shots.
Hollywood is not a stranger to drama, but some actresses have taken their dramatic nature to a different level. They don't just engage in petty scandals. They perform cruel acts that can only be labeled as evil. These women have left lasting scars and stirred up considerable controversy. The question is, were they villains or were they just victims? Come with us as we explore the dark side of 30 actresses. Number 1, Amanda Bynes.
I have an Australian Shepherd mix, but she's getting kind of old.
That's what I think this puppy is. It's an Australian.
Amanda Bynes transitioned from being a child star to becoming one of the most significant figures to grapple with mental health challenges. She rose to fame during the late 1990s and the early 2000s. She was well known for hits like The Amanda Show and She's the Man. In these shows, she was mostly celebrated for her comedic talent and charisma. Irrespective of being a well-celebrated comedian, she was also battling with a lot of challenges that, when they became public, made her look evil in the eyes of people. In 2013, a series of extremely erratic behaviors began to happen. And one of such behaviors was when she allegedly set fire to a stranger's driveway. As a punishment for this crime, she was placed under a conservatorship which her mother managed. Amanda did the due diligence and stayed in the conservatorship for 9 years. While she was there, she received a diagnosis of bipolar disorder and began to undergo regular therapy. After doing all that she was told to do, Amanda was finally culminated in March 2022, when a judge terminated the conservatorship after acknowledging the progress she had made, and the judge also stated that she was able to manage her affairs. However, it seemed that Amanda's problem did not come to an end, as a few years after her release, she returned to her old ways. Specifically on March 2023, she experienced a very strong psychotic episode in Los Angeles, which led to her being placed on a 72-hour psychiatric hold. However, she did call 911 to seek help, and then later that year she was placed under another psychiatric care because of another mental health crisis. Number 2, Lindsay Lohan.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
They did your handshake from The Parent Trap.
I know Nancy Myers.
Lindsay Lohan was famously known for being a Disney darling, but she also had a hidden identity as a thief. Lindsay rose to stardom with the roles she played in movies like The Parent Trap and Mean Girls. She was very successful, but personal struggles always overshadowed this success. The situation was so bad that in 2007, she was met with 2 arrests because she was caught driving under the influence. One of these incidents involved possession of hard drugs and driving with a suspended license. When she got to court, she pleaded guilty to misdemeanor charges and was then sentenced to an alcohol education program, community service, and probation. What made people extremely angry with the judgment given to her was that after all these measures, she served for only 84 minutes in jail. However, Lindsay's troubles did not just end with legal troubles and DUIs. She was also convicted of theft. It happened in 2011. She was convicted of misdemeanor theft for stealing a necklace from a boutique on Venice Beach, and this led to additional probation violations and court appearances. It would seem that the only strong punishment that Lindsay had for her bad behavior was that her reputation was eroded, and she was the constant subject of media scrutiny. Number 3, Britney Spears. Britney Spears was famously known as the Princess of Pop, and as a result of this, it came as a huge shock when she began to experience very dramatic events. These events started as some personal and professional challenges. She was then placed under a conservatorship in 2008, and her father was granted control over her personal and financial affairs. Her legal arrangement lasted for over 13 years, during which time she continued to perform globally, but she also had no autonomy over her own life. Despite what she did, her fan base stood with her and started the Free Britney movement. In the year 2021, she also delivered a very powerful court testimony where she said that the conservatorship was abusive and also expressed a strong desire to take control over her life. As a result of her testimony, Britney went on to terminate the conservatorship the next year. Everyone expected that after such an ugly event she might turn a new leaf, but her attitude began to make people raise eyebrows. In May 2025, she was seen lighting a cigarette during a flight from Cabo San Lucas to Los Angeles, thereby violating federal aviation regulations. When she landed, authorities gave her a warning. The most shocking part was that instead of apologizing, she went on Instagram and expressed so much surprise at the reaction of people. She even went so far as to say that the situation was blown out of proportion. Number 4, Megan Fox.
He can be a lot of different things and a lot of different people at any given moment, but
Megan Fox rose speedily to fame, but what made people consider her evil was the fact that she was extremely candid. She is famously known for her roles in Transformers and Jennifer's Body, but most people recognize her for her outspoken nature and not just her acting skills. Megan publicly criticized director Michael Bay and compared him to Hitler. As a result of this, she was temporarily removed from the Transformers franchise. In almost all of her interviews, she is seen making extremely provocative statements, especially when it comes to discussions about her sexuality and experiences in Hollywood. Many people said that the only reason she was acting this way was that she was seeking attention. However, Megan came out openly to talk about her struggles with mental health and body image, which added complexity to her public persona. Number 5, Azealia Banks.
I don't agree that they should support me just because I'm from Harlem, and I think that you might have.
Azealia was famously known for her music career. However, she transitioned into acting and has appeared in films like Love Beats Rhymes. Nevertheless, the artistic side is constantly being overshadowed by her inflammatory behavior. This behavior is how she constantly comes to social media and makes numerous racist and homophobic remarks targeted at celebrities and public figures. As a result, she has received widespread condemnation, and her Twitter account has been suspended multiple times due to her offensive posts. As a result of her aggressive attitude, she has been involved in numerous online controversies, and has also been involved in physical altercations and public feuds. This behavior of hers drove away most of her fans and even her industry peers, which ultimately harmed her career. People consider her to be extremely evil, and as a result, she has had very limited opportunities in both music and film. Number 6, Mischa Barton.
I went into that like a virgin, like a kid, like really feeling like I needed to grow up quickly to portray like...
Mischa Barton was known for her role as Marissa Cooper on The O.C., and people loved her deeply for this. However, her life after this show was anything but easy. After she left, she began to face a lot of legal issues, and one of the legal issues was a DUI arrest which happened in 2007. Also, Mischa experienced a lot of mental health crises which led to her being in a psychiatric hold. The report has it that Mischa was battling with PTSD, and she had a lot of personal battles. In 2017, her ex-boyfriend wanted so badly to blackmail her via her explicit videos and pictures, and she won the legal battle, preventing him from doing that. Still, this legal battle showed everyone that she had been in such a toxic relationship. This situation also made it easy for her to come out and discuss the pressures that she was facing in Hollywood. She mentioned to the public that when she was 18, she was being encouraged to sleep with a much older actor to advance her career. Number 7, Katherine Heigl.
For being difficult. And just recently, there was a Facebook Q&A. Someone asked you, I've heard rumors that you're very rude.
Katherine Heigl is famously known for her roles in Grey's Anatomy and Knocked Up. However, it was observed that when she went on interviews, she would make some extremely candid criticisms about the projects that she worked on. These comments were highly critical, and many people did not appreciate them, which ultimately led to her professional decline. An example of the comment she made was in 2008 when she withdrew her name from Emmy consideration. When she was asked why, she stated that she had not been given any material worthy of nomination. Also, she said that Knocked Up was a sexist movie, and this caused a lot of friction among the creators. Katherine was not only brutal on screen, but she also had a terrible character behind the scenes. It was reported that behind the scenes, she had very demanding behavior. She would request presidential suites and special accommodations during all her press tours, without regard for whether another person was using them. Characters like these made people see her as entitled and not worth it. Because of these evil behaviors of hers, she was removed from Grey's Anatomy in 2010, and there were rumors that she had burned so many bridges in Hollywood. Number 8, Lea Michele.
We're in the middle of this little press tour run that I was doing.
Yeah.
And I turned to Jonathan and I was like,
You may remember Leah from Glee because she played the beloved part of Rachel Berry. All loved her, but behind the scenes, she faced a lot of allegations from her co-stars. For example, in 2020, she was accused by Samantha Marie of making her life a living hell. Samantha mentioned that Leah would often bully her, and she was the target of her microaggressions, including a threat to shit in her wig. Samantha was not the only celebrity who made such claims about her. Heather Morris also spoke about Leah's unpleasant behavior. When the backlash that Leah received for these behaviors was about to overwhelm her, she made a public apology stating that her behavior was a result of immaturity and a privileged position. The comments made by people against her led to her losing endorsement deals. Number 9. Gwyneth Paltrow.
How much love there is in this thing.
And what advice did your dad give you that you still live by?
Gwyneth Paltrow has been recognized as one of the best actresses of our time. She is so accomplished that she won an Oscar. But in addition to that, she is also known for her lifestyle brand Goop, which has faced significant backlash mostly for its questionable health products and advice. Her brand has produced jade eggs marketed for vaginal health and has also promoted bone broth diets. Shockingly, most of the world's best scientists have stated that her products are a result of pseudoscience and that they are extremely harmful. Regardless of this, she has refused to take her products off the market, and it appears she doesn't care about the terrible things her drugs can do to people. People believe that her promotion of these drugs is to cater to a wealthy demographic while disregarding medical consensus. Despite all of this, Goop has grown into a $200 million brand. Number 10. Ellen Pompeo.
The fans are they keep it alive. It's their show, really. Now they've taken it over, yeah.
Ellen Pompeo has been the face of Grey's Anatomy for a long time, but recently she has been the center of a lot of behind-the-scenes controversies. For example, in 2016, while filming an episode, she admitted to a heated argument with a fellow actor, where she asserted her authority on set and questioned his directorial approach. This comment made by Ellen led to significant backlash and prompted people to say that she was extremely unprofessional. In addition to this, a lot of people have spoken about the tension that she usually has with her co-stars, like Patrick Dempsey, who she was allegedly accused of insulting on stage simply because she was exhausted from working for long hours and being under immense pressure. Number 11. Rebel Wilson.
And it's just awesome having a baby because you never know when you're just going to pick them up and they projectile vomit all over.
Yeah, you never know.
Rebel Wilson has been known for her comedic roles over the past few years. However, recently, she has been viewed in a different light, which has led people to believe that she may be a very manipulative and cruel woman. Australian magazine Woman's Day published in 2015 that the woman had misrepresented her age, birth name, and even her upbringing. For a long time, she made people believe that she was 29 years old and her name was Rebel. But the article made people know that her birth name was Melanie Elizabeth Bounds, and at the time, she was 35. In response to these allegations, Rebel sued Bauer Media for defamation, claiming that the publications had damaged her reputation and career. The allegations were never confirmed, but when most people urged her to leave the matter alone, Rebel insisted on pursuing her lawsuit and was awarded $4.5 million in 2017 for damages. The events of the lawsuit died down till recently, when Rebel was involved in another legal battle. In this battle, she filed a countersuit against the producers of her film The Deb and accused them of theft, bullying, and sexual misconduct. However, the producers sued her in turn for defamation, alleging that she had fabricated her claims solely to tarnish their reputations. Number 12. Zooey Deschanel.
Have you ever seen children's headshots?
Oh yeah.
They're 4 shots.
Zooey Deschanel is what one can call a two-faced individual. She has been celebrated for her distinctive style and even gotten the image of the manic pixie dream girl. But behind the scenes, she has a very complex personality. Most times, she has spoken about the challenges she had with working on the set of New Girl. She mentioned how the long hours usually took a toll on her health. However, these excuses do not stop her from placing immense pressure on others. She has been said to have a very calculated and almost manipulative approach towards her career and image. She also has a strong desire for control, and her true nature is extremely different from the carefree characters that she usually portrays. This makes people wonder what else she is hiding that has yet to come to light. Number 13, Lena Dunham.
Architecture is beautiful. The culture is, it's so, there's incredible history.
Lena Dunham made herself known to many people through her role in the HBO series Girls, but unknowingly to some, her career was marred by numerous controversies that, when they came to light, almost made her seem like a devil. It all started in 2014, when she faced backlash over passages in her memoir, Not That Kind of Girl. In that memoir, she was busy recounting all the experiences that she had with her younger sister. While this was emotionally charged for many, it was also highly inappropriate. Instead of tendering an apology to the public, she went on to deny all the accusations levied against her, and she also added that the media's response was a rage spiral and that no one understood the context of her storytelling. The public forgave her for that incident. However, in 2017, she did the unspeakable by defending Girls writer Murray Miller against sexual assault allegations. This drew considerable criticism, especially since she had previously shown unwavering support for survivors. It was with much plea from her team that she eventually issued a public apology and reaffirmed her commitment to believing women, but by then the harm had already been done and no one believed her. Number 14, Amber Heard.
Surreal and difficult, in part, yes.
Amber Heard's story reminds women of a time when every relationship was being scrutinized. After her relationship with Johnny Depp led to a high-profile defamation trial in 2022, stories of how cruel the woman was began to surface. Johnny sued her over a 2018 op-ed in the Washington Post, where she graciously described herself as a public figure who represented domestic abuse. When this trial, which was broadcast live, caught the attention of everyone, people began to realize that it seemed she was sharing intimate details about their relationship solely to garner sympathy and elicit hatred towards Johnny Depp. The judge saw the same thing and rewarded Johnny with $10 million in compensatory damages and $5 million in punitive damages. As expected, this angered Amber so much that she had to countersuit and later received $2 million. The public saw Amber as falsely claiming abuse for her gains, and they could not help but see her as the most terrible person. Number 15, Lori Loughlin. Lori Loughlin was known for her role as Aunt Becky on Full House. She was highly loved for that, but around the same time she began to face a lot of backlash for her involvement in the 2019 college admissions scandal dubbed Operation Varsity Blues. According to the allegations presented against her, it was stated that she and her husband, Massimo Giannulli, paid $500,000 to have their daughters designated as crew recruits, thereby securing admission to the University of Southern California. This was considered a terrible act by them because it denied qualified youths the chance they deserved in a good educational system. In 2020, Lori pleaded guilty to the conspiracy charges and was sentenced to 2 months in prison, as well as fined $150 and ordered to perform 100 hours of community service. Number 16, Felicity Huffman. Felicity Huffman played the same role as Lori did. She was a famous actor known for her role in Desperate Housewives, and she was also implicated in the 2019 college admissions scandal. Allegedly, she paid $15,000 to have a proctor correct her daughter's SAT answers, bribing her way into the school because she had the power, influence, and money. She performed this act with no emotions or thoughts about how her actions might hurt the person next to her. She later pleaded guilty to conspiracy charges and even expressed deep remorse for the selfish way she acted, but the harm had already been done. Felicity was later sentenced to 14 days in prison. She was also fined $32 and made to complete 250 hours of community service. Number 17, Allison Mack. If you were a lover of the movie Smallville when it came out, you probably knew Allison Mack because she was a star on the show. However, a short time after the show ended, she became the central figure in the NXIVM scandal. To everyone back then, NXIVM was a self-help organization. But when the truth began to surface, it was being made known to people that the group was a cult engaged in sex trafficking and forced labor. Allison was one of the heads of this organization, and when caught, she pleaded guilty to racketeering and conspiracy in 2019. She stated that she was responsible for recruiting women into the secret society. When the women were brought to the society to ensure that they didn't leave, They would be branded and then forced into adult activities which were caught on tape and used as leverage. Her actions were simply horrible, and as a result, she was sent to 3 years in prison. She was also fined $20,000 and ordered to complete 1,000 hours of community service. Number 18, Blac Chyna. Blac Chyna has been seen as an opportunist for the longest time. She was born Angela White and transitioned from being a reality TV star to a woman who is now primarily focused on legal battles and public controversies. For example, in 2017, she sued the Kardashian family for defamation, allegedly claiming that they were interfering with her reality show, Rob and Chyna. The lawsuit was later dismissed in 2022, and the jury sided with the Kardashians. Blac was extremely upset about this, and she may have taken that anger out on her relationships because in 2022, her ex-boyfriend Tyon Hector filed a lawsuit and accused her of being physically and verbally abusive in the relationship. The man also stated that there were times when her violence escalated to substance abuse. Number 19, Taryn Manning. Taryn Manning gained a notable position in the entertainment industry for her electric role in Orange is the New Black, but over the last few years, she has faced numerous legal issues and public scrutiny. She has had a lot of arrests for several incidents like assault and violating restraining orders. The most significant arrest she probably had was in 2016 when she made a criminal threat against a former friend. She has also been known for her unruly attitude on social media, which involves posting erratic videos. All these events have led people to wonder if she is truly okay mentally. Taryn has been known to disregard other people's opinions. In 2023, she posted a video where she talked about her relationship with her partner in very explicit terms, not caring how it would affect the partner, and not even seeking to get approval before doing what she did. She has been perceived as a menace in the entertainment industry, and many people consider her to be mean-spirited and insensitive. Number 20, Meghan Markle. The name Meghan Markle is already associated with considerable backlash and diverse opinions. She moved from being an actress to being the Duchess of Sussex, and this move came with a lot of public scrutiny. The Netflix series she produced, With Love, Meghan, was created to showcase her life journey, but it faced criticism for being overly curated and lacking authenticity. Many people say the show is pointless, and they also question its substance. Most people believe that Meghan manipulated her way into the royal family. When she realized that her secrets would be exposed, she began to poison the prince's mind to lure him away from the family, and she succeeded. As a result of her role in breaking apart the royal family, people have often considered her to be the devil. Number 21, Jada Pinkett Smith.
Be in partnership, right? And in regards,
Jada Pinkett Smith has been perceived by many as manipulative and controlling of her husband. There are rumors of her cheating on her husband, but she still blames him for her mistakes. In 2020, she had a very candid discussion on Red Table Talk, bringing personal matters into the public eye. She spoke about her alleged entanglement with singer August Alsina, which led to widespread discussions and memes. This discussion was viewed by many as Jada publicly emasculating her husband, and she was perceived as the woman who did not take responsibility for her actions. Number 22, Rachel Ziegler.
I saw the logo and I went, that's my name, Snow White's up there, and I cried my eyes out.
Rachel Ziegler rose to fame for her role in West Side Story, but during a promotional interview for her role in Snow White, she made some degrading comments which led to significant backlash. Many critics claimed that she was arrogant and unprofessional, particularly when discussing the themes and characters of the original film. She was extremely rude, and for a long time she saw nothing wrong with what she said and refused to apologize. This only made people extremely angry, and they began compiling scenes from her interviews where she made condescending and disrespectful statements. Number 23, Bella Thorne.
Don't put their life out there that have more followers than me.
But can't
Bella Thorne has always been known as a controversial celebrity. In 2020, she joined the platform known for sharing adult content and became one of their workers who consistently shared exclusive content. She earned over $1 million within 24 hours of joining. However, a few hours after she joined, all her subscribers became angry with her because, according to them, she had charged them $200 for content that was not as explicit as she had promised. This act of hers was perceived as evil, manipulative, and selfish, leading to the platform implementing new policies. These policies were extremely detrimental and affected a significant number of workers on the platform, leaving them unable to survive independently. Number 24, Rose McGowan.
It's more of the establishment and more that I know pretty much, and she released a statement and it was...
Rose was one of the most respected actresses of her time and also one of the earliest voices in the #Me Too movement. Rose moved from being a loved actress in Hollywood to an outspoken activist after accusing Harvey Weinstein of rape. People loved her for her boldness, but before long, that same boldness turned into divisiveness. She began to speak out of turn and publicly criticized feminists like Alyssa Milano, and even accused the Democratic Party of performative allyship. She also defended controversial figures such as Tara Reid. To many people, she was fearless and they loved it. To others, she had left the path of critical conversations and inserted personal vendettas and conspiracy-laden rhetoric. She became extremely hostile in her conversations with people, and this made her appear mean. Number 25, Anne Hathaway.
A lot of lead time.
Anne Hathaway achieved success early in her career, but behind the scenes, people began to speak out about how she was perceived as extremely rude, insincere, and overly rehearsed. Some staff members indicated that she was very difficult to work with due to her attitude. Anne did not make any elaborate comment on this, but most people perceive her silence as meaning that she is guilty and just doesn't know how to convey it to others. Number 26, Ashley Judd. During the #Me Too movement, Ashley Judd also came out as one of the first actresses to publicly accuse Harvey Weinstein of sexual harassment. She spoke passionately against online abuse, and this made people more drawn to her. Unfortunately, this did not last for long because as she came out to speak, some of her peers also had a few things to say about her. They mentioned how she had a diva-like behavior and always bullied people around her. Ashley did not address this as expected, and it led people to believe that there may be some truth in the words spoken against her. Number 27, Kristen Stewart.
Yeah, it was like hanging out with all those kids.
Yeah, that was like the period of time where
Kristen Stewart's career took a turn for the worse when she was involved in an act that many people viewed as reprehensible. She engaged in a public affair with director Rupert Sanders while she was still in a relationship with Robert Pattinson. This scandal cost her numerous opportunities in the industry and also led people to perceive her as inconsiderate and mean. She was being termed as the woman who supported slut-shaming women propaganda, and people withdrew from her as a result of it. Number 28, Jennifer Lawrence.
Press tour. I fell round the world. I fell round the world.
Jennifer Lawrence has been regarded as Hollywood's sweetheart due to her candid discussions about her beliefs. This, however, has led to her facing numerous threats, but this does not deter her. Despite all she has accomplished, she has been accused of manipulating her public persona to advance her career in the industry. Number 29, Mila Kunis.
With a very special message for all you soon-to-be fathers.
Mila Kunis and her husband once worked with star Danny Masterson in the former That 70s show, and after Danny was jailed for rape, the couple still sent him letters, and this did not sit well with the public. This is mostly because the letters did describe Danny in a positive light, which only meant that they were downplaying the severity of his crimes, rather than acknowledging the harm he caused to others. It was even more painful because Mila had a strong position in the anti-child sex abuse organization Thorn, and when these letters came to light, she had to step down. Number 30, Amanda Knox.
Just people in general.
Amanda may not have been considered an actress by some, but her name was associated with drama and mystery. In the year 2007, she went to study in Italy, and there she was arrested and also convicted with her boyfriend, Raffaele Solicito, for taking the life of Meredith Kercher, her British roommate. The media portrayed her as a manipulative seductress and cold-blooded human being. So what do you think? Are these actresses truly evil, or were they just misunderstood? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this video eye-opening, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more behind-the-scenes Hollywood stories.